Hi, this is Roland from PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. Today, what I want to talk about is the new year 2022. It's about to come up. We're about to go into a new year. What we want to talk about today are 7 rental property investment trends. Now, these are just my opinions. There are probably other opinions out there, but in the Tampa rental market, this is what I think is going to be important. And so I want you to take a dive with me. Look at these recommendations, look at these trends that I think are going to be prominent, and give some opinion yourself of if you think I'm right or off track, or if you have some ideas of some areas that you think we can take a look at in 2022. We can do that as well. So I think the first thing that and this can really be applied to any year, right? And so expect the unexpected. It's been a crazy 2020. 2021 has been, a little less crazy when it comes to a pandemic, but it's still been a whirlwind for everyone. And you have to be able to adapt. You can't be caught up or stuck in a cookie cutter system that's not adaptable and can't change. Or can't adjust to the dynamics of the market or what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen exactly in 2022. I don't know what's going to happen in 2023. But what I do know is that things will change. That's the only constant in life, that things will change. And so in your business, you have to be able to adapt. So expect the unexpected, pay attention to the market, and be prepared to pivot and change where necessary to keep your business profitable. So that means if you are a self-managed property owner, if you consider, getting help, getting a property manager. Maybe you already have a property management company. Consider hiring another property management company. Maybe you have a property. Maybe you should go manage your property yourself. Maybe the returns on investment having a property manager is not worth it for you to continue to pay for one. You say, I'm not one of those property managers. I think you should just have a property manager just to have one, right? It has to have some value to you. Now, the value doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? It could be the time savings and not having to do it yourself is worth paying the 10 to 20% for a property manager. And so even if you don't cash flow, even if you're paying a little bit out of pocket, it's worth it to you because you have time to spend on other things that you want to be in, right? So you just have to determine what is benefit for you, what's beneficial for you in the new year, and then make sure you execute that strategy so you can get the most out of your investment. And so for 2022, what does the data show? Well, the reality is everyone thinks that the rates are going to go up, right? And maybe the rates may go up, maybe they may not. We already kind of seen it kind of creeping up a little bit. And so the mortgage rates going up is always, higher mortgage rates always slows down the market a little bit. It takes people away from the buying and puts them in the rental market. So be prepared for a little bit of a slowdown. Homes are still selling faster. I see a lot of investors who are buying homes for the purpose of making them rentals. But be prepared for a bit of a slowdown when it comes to the sales market. The rental market has been hot as well. I can tell you right now, at the end of the year for me, it's been harder for us to get properties rented. I'm not sure if it's just because we're pricing it too high because we estimated the rise in costs, and we think that people are going to pay the higher rents. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a little harder. And also, around this time, it's a time where it's seasonal. It's a time where rental markets slow down a little bit because most people like to move during when school's out. And so most people don't like to move, in the middle of a school year. And so that might be part of it as well. Back in the summer, I was getting properties rented sight unseen before, the old tenant moved out, even the owner moved out. Now it's a lot slower, right? So, and that may continue into the new year. So be mindful of that. Rates are going up. Selling properties may slow down a little bit, and also renting properties are already slowed down. Maybe that may slow down. The slowdown may continue for that as well. The third thing is it a still good time to buy? I would say yes, right? Like I mean, with the way the market is right now, there's always good deals. You just have to identify the good deal for you. Um, Make sure you're doing the proper marketing analysis. Make sure you're looking at all the numbers, and make sure you're buying properties that can provide you with the return on investments that you're looking to get. Supplies may be low, and I think prices I think are a bit inflated, but there are some gems out there, and it's always a good time to buy. A wise person once said to me, "When's the best time to jump in the market?" 20 years ago. Was the second best time today? And so, if you're serious about entering the market, if you're thinking about buying new portfolios, buy now, but make sure you're buying the right property, right deal for you. The fourth trend that you need to look out for, rent increases. I mean, rents have been increasing, steadily since, you know, for a while now, right? I've been increasing rents um, in all the markets that I operate in. But like I said earlier, it seems as if um, we've been having a harder time getting tenants in the property. Maybe we overestimated how much rents have actually gone up. And these are beautiful properties too. I'm not talking about junk properties. These are very good properties in very good areas, but we're not getting the type of reaction that we're expecting to get. And so we had to talk to the owners about potentially reducing those rates, because I think we're at a place right now where if the rents are too aggressive, then people are going to stay away. So I think increases are going to continue to happen, but it needs to be reasonable. I've raised rents 25% and seeing good results, but I see owners wanting to raise rents 30, 40%. I mean, and it's like with some properties that's doable, other properties is not as doable, and we have to find a way to balance that scale a little bit. So my advice is always never raise the rent more than 1 to 5%. At the very extreme case, maybe 10%, but you have to give people some breathing room so that they can continue to pay their rent, right? Because just because costs are going up, wages aren't going up as quickly as costs. And so we have to be very mindful about how we increase our rents. And so we will continue to see rent increases, but we have to be very mindful with our increases. Fifth, growing demand in suburbia. You know, One thing that the pandemic showed is that we can be very productive working remotely. And with people being able to work remotely, some people are going on year-long vacations and just working remotely from wherever they are. And that's no big deal. There's no problem with that. It gives people to explore other places. But I think more permanently, people are saying, hey, why do I have to live in a city when I can work in the suburbs and be just fine, don't have to commute? And with that reality, people are moving further out. I have people who live way out in the suburbs who want to get rentals out there, and I think that's great and that's fine. So, you know, looking at properties to buy, look at properties that can be more affordable sometimes in the suburbs, because sometimes in the city limits, the prices are way too high for you to afford or even turn a profit. And so pay attention to the move out to suburbia, with people being able to work remotely and being able to be successful that way, and see where you can get opportunities from there as well. Um, you know, Number six, renters are always going to still need great landlords, right? And owners are going to need great property managers. And so look for landlords that are flexible. Be a landlord that's flexible, right? Be a landlord that's able to adapt and work and provide great value um, to your tenants, right? But make sure you have great pre-screening, better communication, increased flexibility, and have a convenient way to engage with the tenants. I think all of that is going to be important in 2023 and beyond, 2022 and beyond. And as I stated earlier, investors need great rental property managers. There are some good ones out there, and there are some bad ones out there. Don't be afraid to change and make a shift, even if you've been with someone for a while. I've had a couple of calls over the past couple of weeks where um, owners were dissatisfied with their property manager because the property manager's number one issue is that they don't return calls, they don't engage with their owners. And you really need to have a property manager that's going to do that to help keep an eye on ROI, right? And you got to understand, when you get a quality property manager, you're paying for value. So if you're looking for the cheapest or least expensive property manager, don't expect to get that kind of value. And so as you prepare for 2022, consider these trends. And as always, let us help with your Tampa rental property needs. We have a webinar that we conduct, is how to maximize your rental portfolio for maximum growth. This is a great topic that you won't want to miss. We're going to talk about how to guarantee the rent even if the tenant doesn't pay. We're going to talk about a whole host of ways you can protect the risk that you can have from having a rental property. So definitely check out that webinar. Click on the link in the article to access that, to sign up for that webinar. And don't forget too, we do have a Facebook group that you have access to. We have a great set of investors that are ready to answer questions if there are any concerns that you have about your rental portfolio. And you're able to exchange ideas with people who are in the same industry as you, trying to do the same things that you do. And if you need advice, unique, tailored to you, reach out to us directly. It costs you nothing, and we would be more than happy to talk to you and help you grow your portfolio and manage properties in a way that gets you the best return on your investment. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can reach out to me at rcharles@pmijcmrealty.com. You can also call me at 813-333-9617. And as always, you can go to my website at pmijcmrealty.com. Thank you.